Hi everyone, welcome back to my weekly meal plan. If you're new here, this is just a really quick episode that I do each week where I share with everyone what's on my family's meal plan for the upcoming week. I do repeat meals frequently. I use a simple meal rotation, so you're not always going to find a lot of new recipes. I do try and throw in something new every once in a while when I can or if I have time to, but I kind of generally repeat the same things on a kind of like a regular basis. For example, I do like hamburgers every other Monday. I do like a Mexican rotation on Tuesday. So I kind of, follow something to make it really simple. So I'm just sharing this with you to maybe give you some ideas or maybe just give you some motivation to get your meal plan together. So this week's meal plan starts on Saturday, March 5th. For Saturday, I'm going to be making eggplant parm. This recipe is from allrecipes.com. And it's just like your typical eggplant parm where you, I forget if this is a baked one or a fried one, but actually now that I think of it, I want to make sure I get the fried one because I don't really love baked eggplant. So the link that I share for the recipe for the eggplant will be based on a fried one. And what you do with that makes a huge difference is by salting the sliced eggplant first and letting the water come out of it before you fry it. It just makes a big difference in how the eggplant comes out. I'm also going to be making Portobello penne pasta casserole, which is also from allrecipes.com. This is not a recipe I've made before, but it looks like it'd be really good. It's kind of just like a casserole dish with penne pasta and mushrooms and cheese and frozen spinach. So we're going to try that as a side with the eggplant parm. For Sunday, I'm going to be doing asparagus and mozzarella stuffed chicken breast, which is also from allrecipes.com. I do get a lot of recipes from there. This is something that I haven't made in a while, but it's kind of like, it's easy, but it looks kind of like a fancier type dish because it has like the asparagus and mozzarella like stuffed, like rolled inside the chicken breast. So I think it's a really good meal. I think it tastes really good. I just haven't made it in quite a while. And for a side, I'm going to be doing Chef John's mashed potatoes from allrecipes.com. It's just a very basic mashed potato recipe, but it just I like the technique of cutting the potatoes only in half once and boiling them that way. And then he has you kind of like heat them back up after they're cooked to get any extra water out. And that seems to help it absorb better, like the butter and milk and whatever you add to the mashed potatoes before you mash them. And then we're just going to do like some frozen vegetables on the side, whatever I have on hand, some like steam fresh type vegetables that I can just put in the microwave. For Monday, we're doing ribeye steak. We do this once every 4 weeks. All I do is marinate the steak in a little Montreal steak seasoning and some olive oil and red wine vinegar. And then I just broil it in the oven under the broiler until it's the right doneness. And then I'm also going to do as a side dish cauliflower au gratin, which is from allrecipes.com. This is like, it's like chopped up cauliflower with like sour cream and cheddar cheese, and you top it with breadcrumbs, kind of like a little casserole type dish. For Tuesday, I am doing chicken chimichangas with sour cream sauce, which is from allrecipes.com. This, I don't actually make the sour cream sauce. I do just serve them with sour cream, but I just use this recipe basically to make the chimichangas. And then I'm also going to do a bagged salad with that, like the kind you buy at the grocery store that just has all the toppings and everything and dressing included. For Wednesday, I'm doing baked salmon. For this, I don't have a recipe, but I just buy the salmon fillets, like the individually frozen ones, and then I brush them with olive oil and season them with Smokehouse Maple McCormick seasoning, and then I cook them in the oven at 450 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes, and they come out perfect. I'm just going to do some buttered egg noodles with that, and again, some frozen vegetables, the kind that you just put in the microwave, and whatever I have, like whatever ones I happen to have to go with that meal. Thursday, we do either soup and grilled cheese or breakfast for dinner, because that's the night I go grocery shopping, so I try to make our dinner prep time pretty quick and easy. So for this Thursday, I'm going to be doing Crockpot potato soup. This is like the easiest potato soup to make. I don't have an actual link for it, but I'll share in my blog post how to make this. I think I forgot to mention at the beginning of the episode, I do have a blog post for each weekly meal plan. on my website at lolasfrugallife.com, where you can find links to any of the recipes that I mentioned in this meal plan. But the Crockpot potato soup, you just buy one of those bags of potatoes. I forget what they're called. It's like potatoes O'Brien, I think is what it's called. It's like chopped up potatoes with peppers and onions, and you just dump it in the crock pot, and then you put 32 ounces of vegetable broth, or I just do like water and vegetable bouillon, and then you add a can of cream of mushroom soup, and you just let it cook all day. And you can add cream cheese at the end, but I don't even do that. I think it just comes out so good like that. And then we'll just do grilled cheese sandwiches on the side with that. So then the last meal on this week's meal plan is Friday, and I'm doing mushroom pork chops, which again is from allrecipes.com. I think every recipe this week was from allrecipes.com. That doesn't always happen. So this is just a simple, basically stovetop pork chop recipe. You cook the pork chops in the pan with some mushrooms, and then you add cream of mushroom soup over the top to make kind of like a sauce for them. And then on the side, I'm making vegetarian tater tot casserole, which is from allrecipes.com. This is a casserole, obviously with tater tots, but it's like sour cream and cheddar cheese and cream of mushroom soup, and you pour that over top of the tater tots and bake it in the oven. All of my kids really like that. So that's it for this week's meal plan. Don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at lolasfrugallife. And as I mentioned, you can find a blog post for each of these weekly meal plans, as well as my weekly topic-based episodes on my website at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I can see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast, that would be really helpful to me. Those ratings and reviews are what help boost the show in search results so other listeners can find this podcast. There's also a link to financially support the show if that's something you're interested in. There's a link in the episode details. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a really awesome day.